In our previous upload, part 1, on the blood evidence on the Shroud of Turin and the headcloth, we calculate the odds of probability and chance that the blood on the shroud and the headcloth are not from the same person. And we do this in the same way that DNA evidence is presented, using the same type of mathematical calculations to determine the odds of probability and chance of something being coincidental. But in case you don't know what the headcloth is, it is mentioned in John 20 verse 7. And the napkin that was about his head was not lying with the linen clothes, the grave clothes, the shroud, but was wrapped together in a place by itself. This was put over the head of Jesus while he was on the cross and then was removed during the burial. And as we can see, this cloth was just covered in blood and fluid from the lungs that came out of the nose and mouth of Jesus. So when they removed it, it was just covered in blood like this. This is a mixture of fluid from the lungs and blood. And we have that same mixture of fluid from the lungs and blood coming from the side wound on the shroud. We want to look for unique blood markers and match points between the two, of which there are many. Dr. Edward A. Brucker, the Chief Deputy Medical Examiner of Southern Arizona. He spent over 30 years of his life researching the shroud. The puncture wound on the side, on the right side, shows that the individual continued to bleed after death. One can readily see the separation of serous fluid from the cellular component. And by incredible coincidence, this puncture wound on the side is 4 centimeters, the exact width of a 1st century Roman lancia blade, as stated in the Gospel of John was used. It's another incredible coincidence. Or is it? Now, the blood in the shroud, methemoglobin is present. This is a product of highly oxidized and aged hemoglobin. This confirms that the blood samples are indeed ancient. There is type AB blood on the Shroud of Turin and also on the headcloth. Type AB is the rarest blood type in the world, but it is 600% more common in Jewish people from northern Israel, where Nazareth is. A very thought-provoking forensic fact. But type AB blood is the rarest blood type in the world. Only about 4 to 5% of the world population has it, and the chances that it would be on the shroud would be about 1 in 20. No big deal. However, the chances of type AB blood being on both the shroud and the headcloth, that's a 1 in 400 chance. Okay, 1 in 400. That still could be a coincidental match. That is not convincing evidence. But now add myrrh and aloes present in the blood on both these linens. Now it starts to get interesting. This immediately reminds us of John 19:39, and there came also Nicodemus, who first came to Jesus by night and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about a 100-pound weight. A pound of myrrh in the time of Jesus would have cost up to $3,000 to $4,000 a pound. And according to scripture, Nicodemus purchased about a 100-pound weight of myrrh and aloes. Say that's 50 pounds. 50 pounds times 3,000 equals $150,000. He was assigned a grave with the wicked, but he was with the rich at death. The calculated odds of probability and chance that we would find myrrh and aloes on both linens and type AB blood is a 1 in 40,000 chance, and that is not exaggerating the numbers. Now, this is something we did not present in our part 1 video, but there is also myrrh and aloes that were found in the garden tomb.
on the limestone where it is believed Jesus was buried. This was confirmed by spectrographic analysis using an infrared spectrometer. Spectrographic analysis is the unique signature of any given substance, making it possible to make positive ID with certainty. And that is what we want in this video. Certainty to know something and not just believe. Right now we are looking at micro photographs of the spectra, the unique chemical signature of myrrh and aloes. This was positively confirmed to be on the shroud and also in the limestone in the garden tomb, where it is believed Jesus was buried in Jerusalem. This was confirmed by the Hercules Aerospace Lab in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the myrrh and aloes was confirmed to be on the headcloth by the Spanish Center for Syndenology. Myrrh and aloes were also positively identified by a professor of forensic pathology in Turin, Italy, by antibody antigen testing. So the myrrh and aloes being on the shroud and the headcloth, that is scientifically peer-reviewed. But it gets better. The discovery of myrrh and aloes on both of these linens places the shroud and the headcloth in the garden tomb in Jerusalem, where it is believed that Jesus was buried. This is an extremely thought-provoking piece of evidence, but it gets better. Now add pollens from a thorn plant from Jerusalem on both linens. Okay, so now we have the same AB blood on both linens, myrrh and aloes on both linens, and also myrrh and aloes in the garden tomb, and we have pollens from a thorn plant from Jerusalem on both linens. This is an extremely odd mixture of things to find in a blood sample. The calculated odds of probability and chance that these match points are coincidental and they do not come from the same person is 1 in 20 million. And that is a low-end figure. Simply stated, it means there's a 99.9% chance that the blood on these two linens is from the same person. And a medical examiner doing an autopsy report would have to explain how this person came to be in interaction with a thorn plant from Jerusalem. Well, let's take a look. There are no less than 30 puncture wounds around the circumference of the head of the man in the shroud. Okay, so this person had a crown of thorns on his head. He was in Jerusalem and then later visited the garden tomb. Not likely as a tourist. We all know where we're going with this, and we all know exactly who we are talking about right now without me having to say his name. We already know it. Another match point on both linens that we did not present in the part 1 video is a very significant discovery. There is a rare calcite called travertine aragonite that was found on both the headcloth and the shroud. This rare calcite could only be found in the soil and the tombs around the Damascus Gate. The Damascus Gate was very near another gate called the Sheep's Gate, and that is believed to be the gate that Jesus exited and then walked barefoot on his way up the hill to Golgotha. But right now, we're looking at these micro photographs of this rare calcite taken by Joseph Kolbeck, a research chemist and resident scientist at the Hercules Aerospace Lab in Salt Lake City. A scientific team led by Dr. Eugenia Natowski, the coordinator and archaeological advisor. They did field research in 9 different areas of Israel, from the north to the south, and to the east and to the west, and they were not able to find this rare calcite in any other part of the country, only in tombs and in the soil around the Damascus Gate. and this rare calcite is present on the tip of the nose of the man in the shroud. It's also observed on his knees and on the soles of both feet mixed in with the blood. And this rare calcite is also present on the headcloth. While Jesus was walking and carrying this cross up the hill to Golgotha, barefoot, evidently he was barefoot, because this soil was transferred to the soles of his feet. And when he fell, while carrying the cross, it got onto his knees, and when his face hit the ground, some of this rare calcite got onto his nose. And when we look at the nose of the man in the shroud, it's broken in the middle. And when they applied the headcloth to Jesus while he was still on the cross, under Jewish law, a man who's dead and disfigured, his face has to be covered. So in this process of applying the headcloth, the rare calcite also got transferred to the headcloth. There is a reason why what I just said resonates in your gut as being true. It's because it is. The identification of travertine aragonite on both the shroud and the headcloth was also confirmed by spectrographic analysis, its unique chemical composition signature, as well as visually observed under the microscope. It's an extremely unique match point. This evidence places the shroud and the headcloth to the place where Jesus was crucified and in the garden tomb, both places. The odds of probability and chance that the shroud and the headcloth would both have type AB blood, with myrrh and aloes, with pollens from a thorn plant from Jerusalem, and also by incredible coincidence, they both have this rare calcite that can only be found in the soil and tombs around the Damascus Gate. That is a 1 in over 4 billion chance of being a coincidence. Simply stated, this means there is a 99.9% chance the blood on these two linens come from the same person. That is called proof beyond reasonable doubt. But think about that, a 1 in 4 billion chance. Who would bet against those odds? But let's bring the numbers way down. Let's bring it way, way down to 1 in 1 million chance. Would you bet against that? A 1 in 1 million chance? When you stand a 99.9% chance of being wrong? The English language does not have the words to express how completely idiotic and foolish that would be. This is a pursuit of the truth. Is Jesus the risen Messiah or not? And the pure math tells us there's a 99.9% chance that he is.
The Shroud of Turin is the most powerful witness in the world that tells the most powerful truth. May that truth set you free forever, forever, forever.